On this day in history, January 24th, following the assassination of Emperor Caligula, the Praetorian Guard on January 24, 41, declared Claudius as the new Roman emperor. Claudius, born Tiberius Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, ruled from 41 to 54 AD. He was the first Roman emperor born outside Italy, specifically in Lugdunum, modern-day Lyon, France. The Fatimid Caliphate initiated its first invasion of Egypt in 914 AD. This campaign included the conquest of Cyrenaica, the capture of Alexandria, and a march towards Fustat, with significant battles occurring at Giza. Despite initial successes, the Fatimids eventually withdrew from Egypt. On January 24, 1438, the Council of Basel, which had been convened to address church reforms and other issues, suspended Pope Eugene IV. This action was part of ongoing conflicts between the council and the pope, particularly regarding the authority of ecumenical councils over the papacy. On January 24, 1536, King Henry VIII suffered a severe jousting accident at Greenwich Palace. The 44-year-old monarch, clad in full armor, was thrown from his horse, which then fell on top of him. He remained unconscious for 2 hours, leading to concerns about his survival. Some historians suggest that this accident may have contributed to his later health issues and behavioral changes. On January 24, 1651, Spanish and Mapuche authorities convened at Boroa in Chile, renewing the fragile peace established in earlier parliaments of Chillán in 1641 and 1647. This meeting aimed to address ongoing conflicts and establish terms for coexistence between the Spanish colonizers and the indigenous Mapuche people. On January 24, 1679, King Charles II of England dissolved the Cavalier Parliament, which had been in session since May 8, 1661. Initially supportive of the monarchy, the Parliament became increasingly critical of Charles II's policies over time. Its dissolution marked a significant moment in the political dynamics of Restoration England. During the 7 Years' War on January 24, 1758, the city of Königsberg, now Kaliningrad, was occupied by Russian forces without resistance. The leading burghers of Königsberg pledged allegiance to Empress Elizabeth of Russia, effectively making the region part of Russian territory until it was returned to Prussian control in 1763. On January 24, 1848, James W. Marshall discovered gold at Sutter's Mill near Coloma, California. This discovery sparked the California Gold Rush, leading to a massive influx of prospectors and settlers seeking fortune, significantly impacting the region's development. The University of Calcutta was formally established on January 24, 1857, making it the first fully fledged university in South Asia. It played a pivotal role in the development of higher education in the region and has produced numerous notable alumni over the years. On January 24, 1900, during the Second Boer War, British forces attempted to break the siege of Ladysmith by attacking Boer positions at Spion Kop. The battle resulted in a significant defeat for the British with heavy casualties and highlighted the challenges they faced during the war. On January 24, 1908, the Boy Scouts movement began in England with the publication of the first installment of Robert Baden-Powell's Scouting for Boys. This publication inspired the formation of numerous Boy Scout troops across Britain, laying the foundation for the global scouting movement. On January 24, 1915, during World War I, British and German naval forces clashed at the Battle of Dogger Bank in the North Sea. The engagement resulted in a British victory, causing the German Navy to delay further significant actions against the British fleet for over a year. On January 24, 1916, the U.S. Supreme Court delivered its decision in Brushaber v. Union Pacific Railroad Company, upholding the constitutionality of the federal income tax. This ruling affirmed the government's authority to levy income taxes without apportioning them among the states. On January 24, 1918, Russia adopted the Gregorian calendar to replace the Julian calendar. To align dates, January 31, 1918 was followed directly by February 14, 1918, effectively omitting 13 days. This change aimed to synchronize Russia's calendar with that of Western Europe. The 20th Amendment, which altered the start and end dates for presidential, vice presidential, and congressional terms, was ratified on January 23, 1933. This amendment aimed to reduce the lame duck period between election and office assumption. On January 24, 1935, the Gottfried Kruger Brewing Company, in partnership with the American Can Company, introduced the first canned beer to the public. Kruger's Cream Ale and Kruger's Finest Beer were initially offered in Richmond, Virginia, marking a significant innovation in beer packaging. On January 24, 1939, a devastating earthquake struck the city of Chillán in south-central Chile. With a magnitude of 8.3, it resulted in approximately 28,000 fatalities, making it the deadliest earthquake in Chile's history. On January 24, 1942, during World War II, Allied forces conducted an air raid on Bangkok, Thailand. At the time, Thailand was under Japanese influence, and the bombing led the Thai government to declare war against the United States and the United Kingdom. On January 24, 1943, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Winston Churchill concluded the Casablanca Conference in Morocco. During this meeting, they planned the next phase of World War II and declared that they would accept nothing less than the unconditional surrender of the Axis powers. On January 24, 1946, the United Nations General Assembly adopted its first resolution, which focused on the peaceful uses of atomic energy and the elimination of atomic weapons. This led to the establishment of the United Nations Atomic Energy Commission. In January 1960, during the Algerian War of Independence, European settlers in Algiers staged an insurrection known as Barricades Week. They erected barricades and clashed with French forces, opposing the French government's moves toward negotiating with Algerian nationalists. On January 24, 1961, a B-52 bomber carrying 2 nuclear bombs broke up in midair over Goldsboro, North Carolina. While one bomb's parachute deployed, preventing detonation, the other bomb's uranium core was lost and remains unrecovered. On January 24, 1968, the first Australian task force launched Operation Coburg during the Vietnam War. The operation aimed to disrupt North Vietnamese Army and Viet Cong forces around Long Binh and Bien Hoa, coinciding with the wider Tet Offensive. On January 24, 1972, Sergeant Shoichi Yokoi of the Imperial Japanese Army was discovered hiding in the jungles of Guam. Unaware that World War II had ended, he had been in hiding since the island was liberated in 1944. On January 24, 1984, Apple Computer Inc. released the Macintosh personal computer in the United States. It featured a graphical user interface and a built-in screen, marking a significant advancement in personal computing. On January 24, 1989, notorious serial killer Ted Bundy was executed by electric chair at Florida State Prison. He had confessed to 30 homicides committed across 7 states between 1974 and 1978. On January 24, 1990, Japan launched its first lunar probe, Chillán, becoming the third country to send a probe to the moon after the Soviet Union and the United States. Chillán was designed to test technologies for future lunar missions. On January 24, 2003, the United States Department of Homeland Security officially began operations. Established in response to the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, the department consolidated 22 federal agencies to coordinate national security efforts. On January 24, 2018, former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar was sentenced to up to 175 years in prison after being found guilty of sexually abusing numerous female athletes under the guise of medical treatment. The case led to significant reforms in sports organizations regarding athlete safety.